jamming out to the intro there. Welcome in week 3, Wall Street with the professor. How we doing tonight, bud?
Good. How are you tonight, Kyle?
I'm doing good. My fantasy results this week were a mixed bag, but still feeling good, still healthy, still ready for week 3. We're going to do buys tonight. Who's your first one?
Well, I think I'm going to kind of go with a player that drafted high in the first round, has not fully delivered, and I don't really know what's going on with this Bengals offense. They just have not been able to put it together the past couple seasons. Of course, you know, they've had injuries and been dealing with a number of issues, but Jamar Chase is my first guy up on my buy list. I think, you know, he's due for a big bounce back this week. This may be your opportunity to kind of buy low on him. My hope is that Higgins is back. I know Higgins looks like he might be trending in that direction. But once Higgins comes back, you know, that allows them to play Chase a little bit more in the slot. He also is leading the league with double coverage and kind of that bracketing coverage to take him out of the game. And I think once Higgins is back, you know, certainly all of that will stop. This doesn't have anything to do with talent. Doesn't have anything to do with his contract. You know, I think this is just he's kind of a victim of circumstances right now. And once that kind of shifts, once things change there in Cincinnati, we should see Chase have a big time bounce back. And you know, he's one of the few receivers that on a weekly basis can win you a week. And so I kind of want that type of upside on my roster, and I'm willing to gamble a little bit to get it.
Yeah, because as better than expected as Gesicki and Iosivas have been, with Higgins out, they're still not Higgins. The defenses don't respect them the same way they respect and cover Higgins to open up for Chase, like you're saying. And, man, if there was ever a spot for Chase to get back on track, it's this week on Monday night against Washington. That should be a really nice game. So if you're going to try to buy quickly.
Yes. Totally agree.
Yeah. All right. Numero dos.
So this is I'm going to be kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum here, and it's going to be another receiver. I decided tonight to focus on receivers because there have been so many injuries to the receiver position. And, you know, last night on Boomer Bust, we had a ton of questions, all of them about waivers. And there was a player that I specifically wanted to save for our buy list tonight, a guy who is still available on most waivers. And I think it's kind of a sneaky pickup. You know, everyone's talking about the Robinsons, and they're talking about, what's the other player right now that's hot on waivers? Anyway, Thielen is a guy, Adam Thielen with the Carolina Panthers, who really benefited when Andy Dalton started his last game with the Panthers. You know, we saw him garner 11 catches, over 140 yards, also had a touchdown. He is clearly Dalton's favorite target in that offense. And he's a guy I think that could be a really sneaky waiver wire claim. If you saw any of the clips from Sunday, you know, he was clearly frustrated with the missed throws and being open and not being thrown to. And so I'm really looking for him to really thrive and do well with Andy Dalton behind center.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a guy. You're not necessarily going out and trading for him, but he's a guy that you should be able to get off waivers.
Yeah, I mean, he had a stretch of games last year where he looked incredible, you know, and there ain't no reason he couldn't do that again now with Dalton at the helm. So that's a good, nice little nugget, little sneaky pickup off the waiver wire, because I'm pretty sure he's still sitting there in a ton of my leagues on waivers, and maybe I'll go pick him up myself.
100%. Oh, Quentin Johnson is the other guy with the Chargers. So the player who's a hot pickup this week. I'm just looking up here. Quentin Johnson, Demarcus Robinson, kind of the two hot waiver wire pickups. This is a guy, obviously, that you can get further on down that waiver wire. But yeah, so I like him a lot with Dalton.
Awesome. All right. And last but certainly not least.
Yeah, well, this is a guy I know that you are kind of one of your favorite players to own in fantasy. I know you're really high on him in dynasty, as you should be. And that's Chris Olave. I think this really has presented these first 2 weeks presented us with a unique opportunity to buy low on Olave. Just like Chase, the talent profile is there. He ranks sixth amongst all wide receivers in his receiving grade. The opportunity is going to be there. They've kind of really, the game script and the way these games have worked out the first 2 weeks of the season haven't really needed to kind of look his way that much. But that's going to change, and this guy is going to be a big part of this offense. So Chris Olave is a guy that if you can get him low, I would be trying to make a move on him.
Yeah, 100%. My Cowboys Sunday could not stop Alvin Kamara, but they still managed to make a more concerted effort to get Olave the ball than they did in week 1. But yeah, to your point, I'm in 3 dynasty leagues. I own Olave in all 3. So
Right.
I freaking love that guy.
Talent's there. He's just not getting the routes right now.
Yeah.
And it's all game script related. So
it's a good
I'm not going to
example.
blow everyone out every week 40-10.
Exactly. It's a good example of not letting 2 weeks scare you off of a known stud.
100%.
All right, guys. That's going to do it for us for this episode of Wall Street. Catch us on the sales list, and good luck in week 3.
Perfect. Thanks, Kyle. Thanks, everyone.